you will end up pushing yourself into a valley situation. I mean, listen, if you cannot buy steaks, buy some neck bones. Y'all not feeling me up in here. And if you can't get that, do what? Get the next best thing. I mean, listen, you don't have to have no meat at every meal. Oh, I wish y'all could see how some of y'all was looking at me in here today. You don't have to have 10 different changes of clothing. I mean, listen, you can wear but one at a time anyhow. Wear that one if that's all you got. Just keep it clean. Comb your hair. Brush your teeth. Shine the one pair of good shoes you got and wait until God blesses you with something else. So if you're in a valley, act like you are in a valley. Listen, stop inviting Pookie, Pork Chop, and Raybone, and T-Bone, and all a lot of folk to come over to your house, and you know you got to spend your whole check to pay for their food, and you ain't got nothing to eat your own self. You in a valley. Don't be planning no elaborate wedding, because let me tell you this, it ain't fun being married broke. Listen to me today. When you're broke, there ain't a whole lot of happiness going on, and you ain't talking about kissing me now. Don't nobody want to be kissing, talking about, come on, let's go to bed now. I don't want to go to bed with you. In fact, I'm mad at you for talking me into getting all this stuff. If you in a valley, act like you in a valley. I mean, our problem is that we spend money, watch this, we spend money that we don't have on stuff that we don't need, and get this, trying to impress folk we don't even like. So we must accept the reality that we are in a valley. Preach, Pastor Trainer. Well then, secondly, in order for you and I to recognize that God has favored us through our valley as being fathers and parenting. Listen, problem is you and I must not only, number one, we got to act like and come to the reality that we are in a valley, but then number two, we must acknowledge our response why we in the valley. Okay, in other words, since I know that I'm in this valley, now what am I going to do? Well, the text helps us out quite a bit, because watch this. David the psalmist says, number one, I'm going through. That part of the verse when he says, yea, though I walk through. You see, you and I have come too far, get this, to let a valley stop us. Talk to me, lads. You see, we have already encountered too much and come too far, get this, to let your valley stop you. That's why it's so important to know that you and I cannot hang around too many folk with valley minds. You don't get that on your way home. Because folk with valley minds, get this, think that you have to live in the valley. Listen, you don't have to live in the valley. Guess what? It's a choice. However, it's a place where you are going through. Yeah, you may be down now, but you ain't gonna always be down. Yeah, I ain't got no money right now, but I ain't gonna always be broke. Yes, you may be sick right now, but you don't have to always stay sick. Talk to me, somebody in here. Yeah, I'm having problems now, but thank God trouble don't last always. In other words, I'm going through. And listen, you and I have to make up in our minds that this valley ain't gonna stop us. Come hell or high water, I'm going through. Do I have anybody in this house that's willing to go through? You see, sometimes when you go through, you learn some stuff you would have never learned if you haven't gone through. Thank God for the privileges, fathers, of being able to go through, because going through will help me and you to know who we are. Because listen, if you have never been through anything, guess what? You really don't know your own self. If you have never been through anything, then you really don't know what life is really all about, because it is the stuff you go through that makes the real you. It's the stuff you go through that help build your spiritual muscles. It's the stuff you go through. Y'all keep missing me in here. All right, watch this, watch this, watch this. It's not the folk who told the truth on you, fathers. It's the ones that told the lies on you. Did you get that? You see, it's not the friends that really make you and me, but get this, it's our enemies. In other words, it's when you have been attacked by Satan and you have to depend only on God to help you make it through. And it's the stuff you go through that makes you who you are. And get this, this is one of the main reasons, fathers, why we remember this 23rd Psalm. And why we remember it so well, because you and I can relate with the psalmist, because just like David had to go through, guess what? So are we. So my brothers and sisters, I'm going through, number one. And I want you to watch what the psalmist says. He says, I'm going to walk. Now, the psalmist seems to be saying that, fathers, look, yes, I'm in the valley, but get this, I ain't sleeping. Y'all missed it. You missed your shout. Because watch this. When you are afraid, the very last thing you do is walk. Did y'all catch that? Listen, when you are afraid, you are going to stop and stare, but the psalmist says, no, I ain't. I'm going to walk, yea, though I walk. Which simply says that even though I'm going through, it may be rough, but guess what? I ain't afraid. That part of the verse helps us tremendously when he says, get this, I know I'm going through, but I won't fear. And brothers and sisters, watch this, get ready for your shout. Fear not is recorded 365 times in the Bible. And I want you to remember that there are 365 days in a year. And what that seems to be telling me and you today is that we got to fear not for every day. When you get up each morning, fathers, there is a fear not day. I don't care how the devil tries to make you and me be afraid. You might as well learn to tell the devil, get under my feet, because I gotta fear not for every day. And I tell you why. I tell you why. Because there is nothing, watch this, that happens to you and to me, number one, without the permission of God. Did y'all catch that? But then number two, it always comes with God's purpose. All right, listen, God has a purpose for any and everything, fathers, that happens to us. I know sometimes it's hard, you break your neck, working hard to make sure that your children have, and it seems like that they give you a I don't care attitude. It's all right, I know it hurt, but notice this, listen, God says this everything through the Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 8 and verse 28. He says, watch this, and we know that all things work together. Do I have any Bible readers in here? For the good of them that love the Lord, and to those who are called according to his purpose. So in other words, it comes with God's permission and God's purpose, but get this, it also comes with God's power. In other words, that God has enough power to release it whenever he get ready. Yeah, I know